That's all that I can think of. Every minute we're apart, darling, I've been living for the moment that we touch, so I can cover you in kisses and wrap you in my love. Baby, keep that fire burning. Pour a glass of that sweet wine. Let your hair down on your shoulders, and I'll be there just in time to cover you in kisses, hold you in my arms. That's all that I can think of. Every minute we're apart, darling, I've been living for the moment that we touch, so I can cover you in kisses and wrap you in my love. Darling, I've been living for the moment that we touch, so I can cover you in kisses and wrap you in my love. I wanna cover you in kisses and wrap you in my love.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasharal. Shabbat Shalom. I hope all is well on this fine Shabbat evening. I got some things that we need to talk about, Mish. We really need to talk. Some of the things are, if not all the things that I've talked about, that I've been talking about, they're hard to hear. I want to say, just instinctively, I want to say I get that. I understand that the things I've been saying are hard to hear, but I have to catch myself, because I would be lying if I said that I get that, or that I understand that they're hard to hear. The things I've been talking about need to be heard. And the reason they don't, that they aren't heard by most, outside of a couple of my beautiful, amazing, blessed, spectacular sisters, and you know who you are. The reason that it's not heard by the majority, outside of them 1 or 2, maybe 3 listeners, is it's for the same reason that I'm sure you've experienced before. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I would bet that the majority of y'all who are hearing my voice right now have thought to yourselves at one point in your life, and probably at a lot of times, a lot of points in your life, you've thought, no one listens to me. Or you've been in a relationship where the other person that you're in a relationship with, who you just want you hope that they love you and that they've been listening to what you've been saying. I would bet that you've been in a lot of situations where the person you hope will love you and listens to you hasn't paid a lick of attention to what you said. You could be talking, and if you wanted to, you could look at that person and say, what did I just say? Because you see them over there nodding in agreement. I used to do this all the time. This has happened to me my whole life. I would tell someone something like really important, like really means something to me. And I saw that they weren't listening. And I would start saying, and so, this is what I would do. I've did it so many times. I would say, and then I landed it on the freeway, and it knocked one of the wings off, and I didn't kill anybody, but I got it landed. It was a 747, a big jumbo jet airliner, but I got it landed. And when they hear that, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'd say, "Yeah, exactly. You haven't been listening to nothing I've said, have you?" And I didn't say that. Most times, I never said that. Most times, I would say the jumbo jet thing, but most times, I never did say, "You ain't been listening," because I knew that it just was it was no use. And the reason I'm choked up right now, thinking about that, it's the same principle that I'm talking about right now. If you're not listening to me, you ain't gonna hear what I'm about to say. The reason I'm choked up, it's got nothing to do with me. I'm not choked up because of all the conversation that I've had in my life where the people that I was hoping would hear what I'm saying didn't pay attention. The reason I'm choked up has nothing to do with that. The reason I'm choked up right now is because I know that's how Abba, Yahuwah feels, but on high and a maximum. Most people, they want the miracles. They want the bread. But no one has taken the time to listen to what he's been saying. Because if they had, they would know about the things that I've been screaming from the mountaintops. They would know about what it is we have to do. They would know about all these things. But the proof is in the pudding. The pudding is laid out for all to see. That no one really has been paying attention. When most people go read the Word, they might read a chapter. Like how many How many preachers or sermons have you heard when they preach a sermon or when they're reading a Bible study, whatever, just across the board, whatever example you have that you can come up with in your mind? How many times have you heard someone read from the top? How many times have they taken it from the top and read all chapters, all verses, and got all context? How many times? Because me speaking, I can tell you from my own experience, none, zero, zilch, none have. They open the book and they go and they say that they quote and they preach a whole sermon based off of one or two verses for the most part. I don't think we could even, if me and you right now sat down and looked through all sermons that's been taught that we can find online, I don't think we're going to find one where they read one whole chapter, let alone every book, all books. They just haven't. You can't find it. And if you find it, send it to me because I want to hear it. I really do. And I'll break out and break dance. But you know, just like I do, it's not out there. It doesn't happen. So that's why these truths that I've been given, that's why they've been given to me, for one, but more importantly, it's why the world hasn't gotten it. And all Abba wants to do, all he wants, he's like I've been. All those times, like my last ex-wife, I've been married twice, so you know, and both of them's been named Crystal, and they've been opposite of the spectrum for one another, kind of like the image of the beast. The first one was a preppy, rich girl who thought her shit didn't stink and that she could do no wrong and that her nose is steady in the clouds, all her family. The last Crystal I married, her head's up her own rear end and she don't know coming out the rain. And been two, and that's a whole nother topic. But the last one, she would always, like, she every once in a while, she would try to convince me that she loved me. She would try to convince me so I would think that she loved me. And I knew it was no use. I knew it was hopeless to explain to her that I knew that she really didn't love me, that she was just blowing smoke up my rear end. So I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother to say anything about it. But she would always try to convince me. And the whole time I knew I could ask her at any time in that conversation, I could say, well, what was I just saying? What's my favorite color? What was I telling you earlier today about that one thing? And I knew she would just look stupid and it would just smear salt on the wound that was already there. I knew that. So why do it? It wasn't worth it to me. And Abba, he's sent out messengers. He sent out prophets. He sent his own son to come to tell you about the escape, about the rain. How many of you have been listening? How many? How many of you went and watched that movie in the 7 Splinters in Time that I've told you about? How many have you have went and watched the things I've been telling you to watch, have looked into the things I've been telling you to look into? And that's just me. That's just little old Dottie. That's just number one epic dumbass over here. And we're just talking about me. How many of you have went and looked into the Word to see what it says. And if you come at me and say, well, I'm not going to go watch those movies because there is your sign. That's just more proof. That's more salt in the wound. That's injury to insult. You should already know out the gate that I wouldn't encourage you to go watch some movie or do anything that would take you away from Abba or that would injure you in any way. But how many of you have looked into this outside of the few that I've mentioned? How many? What's the due diligence? How much due diligence have you went and done for yourself? But more importantly, how much listening have you done of the Most High? How much attention have you paid to Him? Mishpachah, this is the simple truth. If you've paid attention to Him, you would be here telling me about the image of the beast and about coming home to Jerusalem, about the singing, about the leaping of the gazelle, about the meat, about the singing, about the shadow of the darkness, the valley of the shadow of death, of the darkness, of the distress, all these things. I wouldn't be telling you. You'd be telling me. You would be interacting with me. You would be Berean style with me. Suited and booted, sleeves rolled up. But outside of 2, maybe 3, I haven't seen. All I've heard is crickets. Mishpachah. I'm going to show you some things here in just a second. You're going to want to turn your ears to the on position. You're going to want to open your eyes. Or don't. That's up to you. I'm not going to make a spectacle of it. I'm not going to rub salt into Abba's wound for him. But I'm listening and I'm doing all I can. Is it enough? No. Never. It's never enough. Is it all I can do? No. It's not all I can do. But I want to do all I can. I want to answer every call Abba makes. I want to be as attentive and as interested and engaged with him as I possibly can. I want to give him all of me, everything that I have. I'll be right back. I hope you come willing to give him all you have too. Now, what I want to show you, I just want to show you a couple key things here that I've overlooked, that I failed to investigate thoroughly regarding this IPEC GOAT 2. But rest assured, I'm only going to take a brief moment of your time in showing you this. But if it wasn't life or death, I wouldn't even mention it. But rest assured, we're going to the word where it's at, where it matters to get this message, this memo. But I want to show you a couple things that I failed to see, and that all people who's looking at this has failed to see. Let me show you. Now, you hear Bush saying, fool me once. And yeah, he said that in a speech. And yeah, he was at the classroom when 9/11 happened. And yeah, it shows 2 towers burning down, which all are connected. All those things are related. But what most people aren't seeing is, I mentioned here a couple videos ago that iPetGoat 2, the reason it's named that is the same reason that man-eating flower from Little Shop of Horrors is named Audrey 2. It's everything to do with the image of the beast. This is a false reality that we've been sold. That's why George Bush turns into Barack Obama. But what I didn't focus on was, why does Bush have a dunce hat on? And I'm going to show you why he has a dunce hat. And if you notice, when he turns into Obama, what's he have on his head? He has one of those caps that symbolizes graduation, which it's symbolic. It's screaming to you that when you realize what I've been telling you about this iPetGoat 2, you will have graduated. You'll no longer be a dunce. And no one thinks to look into what the dunce is. And if you go back and you watch this video, you'll notice there's darkness everywhere. You'll notice in the end, the light, the sun comes and shines light on everything, and it tears down structures like the pyramids. And if you go back and watch the videos I've made, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a progression. This is me learning along with you. You should be learning along with me. You should be attentive and listening to the words. Abba says, and your brother who loves you. Just the fact that I'm here doing this is it's love. Plain and simple. I've risked my life, my freedom, my children, my sex life, my life for this. And I would do it all again, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as it takes, however long it takes. But notice Obama with the graduation hat. Okay, if you go look up the definition of dunce, yeah, it means a slow-witted or stupid person. But let me put it this way. I don't think you're stupid. I don't think none of y'all are stupid. What I think is Babylon has the majority of you only caring, only listening when it serves you, when it fits you, when it's best for you. It's not that you're stupid. It's that it hasn't interested you. It hasn't piqued your interest enough. But that's not why I'm showing you. That's not what we need to know about the dunce. No, what we need to know is it is derived from this guy right here, John Duns Scotus. Let's read a little bit about him. The irony of dunce lies in the fact that this synonym of dullard, is derived from the name of one of the most brilliant thinkers of the Middle Ages, John Duns Scotus. So ingenious were the theological and metaphysical metaphysical speculations of this thinker that he was given the name the subtle doctor. Now, you're probably thinking right now, why did you just circle metaphysical? Herein lies my point. I've been talking about metaphysical. If you'd been paying attention, you would have knew right away why I circled metaphysical. All the movies that I've been showing you and telling you about that tell you, because these enemies, they know who the image of the beast is and who Babylon is. They know, and they're rubbing it in your face. They're laughing like that Obama. They're winking at you and laughing at you because you don't care, because you ain't took the time to listen. I've talked about metaphysical. Those movies that I was just talking about, they, if you look in their description, they're called metaphysical movies. So let's go see what metaphysical is about. Right here. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that studies the fundamental nature of reality. This includes the first principles of being or existence or identity. That's why he has the dunce hat on. Because, yes, it represents someone in class that ain't paid a lick of attention. But it also represents this guy who he majored in metaphysical. He majored in the fundamental nature of reality. But those who wear the dunce hat are those who ain't been paying attention in class. They haven't cared to listen to someone when they're talking, someone that loves them, he's give it all, laid it on the line, like Messiah for you. He's someone he's hanging up on the torture stake, and he's saying, forgive them, Abba, for they know not what they do. And yet, most still won't listen. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take? The verse of the day is Matthew chapter 5, verse 6, 56. And you should know what that means if you've been paying attention. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because they shall be filled. Not blessed are those who want to be better than the next person, or who wants to be seen as being the one that knows all the answers or doing it just right. No, blessed are those who are doing it right, and in right I mean, and so does the word, means those who listen, those who have loving commitment. Loving commitment. Who come with their pen in hand, taking notes, listening. Isaiah chapter 52. Awake, awake, put on your strength, O Sion. Put on your garments of splendor, O Jerusalem, the set-apart city. For no more do the uncircumcised and the unclean come into you. I've been telling you that there's an escape, and there's only one place you'll find it. And there's going to be a time where those who have picked up loving commitment and righteousness, for righteousness' sake, who've been on their face, given all praise, all glory, all honor, and all esteem to Abba, Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness. Those people, they will come in to the city. but everyone else will be left outside with the dogs. They'll be trampled down. Shake yourself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose yourself from the bonds of your neck, O captive daughter of Sion. Loose yourself from everything that's kept you from paying attention to the word, from going in and reading it. Context, baby. Taking it from the top, verse 1, into the end, finishing it hard and strong. Those of you who haven't done that, it's because you've been taken captive. There's other things that captivate your mind, that motivate you, that keep you from being motivated into following the word, the Lamb, the Messiah, the truth, the way and the life, wherever he leads you. For thus said Yahuwah, you have been sold for nothing, and you are redeemed not with silver. For thus said the Master Yahuwah, at first my people went down into Egypt to sojourn there, and Ashur oppressed them without cause. And now what have I here, declares Yahuwah, that my people are taken away for nothing? Those who rule over them make them wail, declares Yahuwah, and my name is despised all day continually. Therefore my people shall know my name in that day, for I am the one who is speaking. See, it is I. He's speaking. Are you listening? And just because you say his name means nothing. It means nothing. Are those who will come into into Jerusalem, who will come out of those chains of bondage, speak his name? Yes, yes. But don't use that as a free ticket. My first wife, or my second wife, she could have used the excuse that she knew my name, when I might have said to her that you ain't been listening to nothing I say. She could have said, well, at least I know your name, you know. I know how old you are. Whoop-de-ding-dong. She ain't been listening to nothing I say. Those who will make it, who find the escape, yes, they will call on his name. They will have made it. They will have made it past that point in their walk and in their journey, in their dance, in their two-step, in their tango with the Most High. Your tango with the Most High, it brought you to his name a minute ago. Now we've moved on from that into more solid food. How pleasant upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news. Here I am, Abba, who proclaims peace, who brings good news, who proclaims deliverance, who says to Sion, your Most High, your mighty Most High reigns. The voice of your watchmen, they lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy because, why? Why? Because eye to eye they see the return of Yahuwah to Sion. Break forth into joy. Sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem. For Yahuwah shall comfort his people. He shall redeem Jerusalem. Yahuwah shall lay bare his set-apart arm in the eyes of all the nations. What's his set-apart arm? That's Yahushua Messiah. What did I just tell you he was? You already know. He's the way, the truth, the life, the word. He's going to lay bare. The only way you're getting in is if you see his word, you attentively listen, you hear his word, you live his word, you feast, you eat, you dine, wine and dine on his word, and you follow it wherever it leads you. And all the ends of the earth shall see the deliverance of our mighty Most High. Turn aside, come out from there. Touch not the unclean. Come out of her midst, be clean, you who bear the vessels of Yahuwah. For you shall not come out in haste, nor go in flight, for Yahuwah is going before you, and the mighty Most High Yasharal is your rear guard. You got nothing to fear. If you ain't got the money, whoop-de-ding-dong. If you ain't got the means of transportation, whoop-de-ding-dong. Neither did they. When they come out of Egypt, when Moses and Aaron let them out, they wanted cucumbers and watermelons. Get on the road, barefoot, bucket naked if you have to. It doesn't matter. Get on the road. Yahuwah, your mighty Most High, is your rear guard. He's got you. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. See, my servant shall work wisely. He shall be exalted and lifted up and very high. His word. As many were astonished at you, so the disfigurement beyond any man's, and his form beyond the sons of men. He shall likewise startle many nations. Sovereigns shut their mouths at him. For what had not been recounted to them, they shall see. And what they had not heard, they shall understand. What they had not listened to, because if you'd been listening, you'd have heard. I still have hope. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. If I didn't have any hope that you guys would eventually start to listen, start to pay attention, I would give up. But I know that this is my job. This is what I got to do. I love you. You don't have to love me. I love you. Get on the road. Get on the dance floor. Put it into gear. Let Abba, Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator, our righteousness, wine and dine you. Let him take the lead. Put your feet on his and your hands in his. He knows all the right moves. He says just the right words. All you got to do is believe.
When I was 14, I was falling fast for a blue-eyed girl in my homeroom class. Trying to find the courage to ask her out was like trying to get off from a water spout. What she would have said, I can't say. I never did ask, but she moved away. But I learned something from my blue-eyed girl. Sink or swim, you gotta give it a whirl. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. The longer I live, the more I believe you do have to give what you want to receive. There's a time to listen, a time to talk, and you might have to crawl even after you walk. Had sure things blown up in my face, sing along, try to win the race. Been knocked down by the slamming door, picked myself up and came back for more. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. You go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you